Hey folks, Captain Eric Newman from Journey South Outfitters in Venice, and today we're going to show you how to break down an AJ. All right, we're going to start off with the first cut, which is going to come from the head here, angled down, and we're going to avoid the belly and the rib cage, and you'll see why I want to do that. So we're going to get the knife, and we're going to do an incision. And then now we're going to score the fish. We're going to start here by the tail. We're going to work our way up and score it. We will spin the fish around, and we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to work from the tail up and score the fish. There's a crease here right by their dorsal that you can follow on most species. Some are more defined than others, and with a good knife you can also feel it going right down the back along those bones. We're going to roll the fish over, and we're going to duplicate that same cut. So what we did is we mirrored the cuts on both sides of the fish. I worked from the belly up to salvage some of this belly meat for this cut right here that we're going to show you. And then I scored the fish on both sides, and I used a flex in the knife and pushed down, and you could feel it rubbing along the bones on the skeletal structures to minimize waste. You mirror this on both sides so the fish is laying good. If I took one side off and then went to the other, the fish would have an indentation in them, and it would be harder for you to get the proper score. You can do it after you've been cleaning for a while, but this is a good way to practice it for a long time. So having a knife that's stiff enough to break where you need it to, it's also nice to have some flex in it, so when you're scoring these fish, you can slide it right along the bones. I'm gonna work from the tail, and I'm just gonna start working it nice and slowly. All right, a little trick here you can do. If you're having trouble holding on to this, you've been cleaning a bunch of fish, or your hands are tired, or you just can't grip it, you can create a little finger grabber right there. And you can work between, just pull it up as you work between those bones on the backbone. Skin side on the cleaning station. That's another little tip you can do, is always try to keep the skin on the cleaning station. As you can see, this one is not probably the most sanitary. And so I like to work the fish off the skin and try to have the least amount of contact with the actual meat you're going to eat with a cleaning table. So I'll work it off and go straight into a bag and try to avoid the meat hitting the cleaning table that you don't know last time it's been cleaned. We're gonna roll this fish over and mirror exactly what I did on the first side. All right, I got both sides of the fish taken off. They're out the way, skin on the table. Now I'm going to take off the collar of this fish. So I kind of cut down to keep a good bit of the belly on it, because a lot of times when I cook the collars, I'll put them on the Traeger or I'll grill them. and this gives me some more meat to deal with on the collar. Some people just do a short collar, like if you want to fry it on certain species, and obviously you'd have to have one large fryer to be able to do this. So some of them down here, they keep the collar smaller so they can fry it depending on the species of fish. All right, so now I'm taking the whole throat out of this fish, along with part of the belly. I changed knives on you. I went to an 8-inch. I went to something shorter, a little more stiffness, to where I could really get down and dirty, and you saw how I snapped through those bones real easy. Some species of fish have a little joint right here. So, you know, path of least resistance. Kind of go through the joint, go down. Snapper have a real pronounced joint, our American red snapper. This guy had a little bit of a joint, not much. So I cleared this whole side, the throat, sliced that membrane. I'm gonna roll him over and mirror that on the other side. All right. This is how we do it in Louisiana, the collars. Like, so we'll get this guy, have all this belly meat on it. And what we usually do on this kind of fish, this size, is we'll put this on the smoker or the grill and grill it. We're gonna clean all the membrane up inside of here, get it nice and pretty, and we put some, you know, any kind of marinade on it. That's how we do it down here. Another very popular cut in this area on certain species like grouper and triple tail is the cheek meat. And I like to use a more detailed knife with a little more give in it, which I'm going to use a 7-inch flex fillet for it. Here's the finished product. Nice, fresh amberjack cheek. All right, next step is I'm gonna take the rest of this rib cage out the fish. Kind of just follow it down. This is another piece here that you can put on the grill along with that collar and belly. So what we'll do is we'll clean all this up. Get all that cleaned off of there to where it's nice and pretty. Get rid of all this. Keep cleaning it and get it completely clean. Get it nice and washed up, and we'll put its scales down on the grill. You can baste it with any kind of marinade, and you can grill it, and you can pick the bones right out of it, and it's very delicious meat. Kind of cooks in its own fat. It's got good fat content. This is definitely a captain's cut right here. All right, what I'm gonna do at this point is I'm gonna cut straight through the middle of here, separate the top loin from the bottom. All right, so we got the top and the bottom. We're gonna do that to the other side of the fish. There you go. That's basically how we break an AJ down in the Gulf of Mexico. We got the 2 rib cage pieces. We got the whole collar and the belly. We got the cheeks, got the top loin, and then the bottom. And now we're gonna take, what we usually do here is I'll cut off a piece and I'll get all the blood off and then go straight in the Ziploc. So I'm working off the skin so the meat that you're consuming never touches the cleaning station. All right, so you can work these fillets off the skin and cut all this blood out. And we call these Clotil's cuts. She likes them. There we go.